Hey, what's up everyone? So today's video is going to be a little bit different, and this is mainly just because I've seen a lot of people not being able to do the specific thing, which is knowing when to be aggro versus knowing when to be passive whenever you're standing off an opponent. And so I don't want to cut this intro too long, and just know that that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. I hope that helps you guys out. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you guys haven't already. I'd really appreciate it, and please share it with your friends if you think this will help them out as well. I upload every Wednesday, and with all that out of the way, let's move on to the rest of this video. So the first example is very common and very simple, which is why I want to give it to you guys. So basically, we're going to drone out someone, we're going to see that someone's holding an area, and we're going to flash them out. The flash is a super common way that you can know when to be aggro, and this is because you know that they have one of two options. They either have to turn away from the flash so they don't get flashed, or they're gonna get flashed. And knowing that, you can take action and push them and be aggro, and have the upper hand in either of those situations. So we're just gonna play it out right here. So we go ahead and drone out. We see that Valk is right there. We're gonna go ahead and breach. Then we have our flash ready. We're gonna toss it in. We hear the flash go off, and then we go ahead and get the opponent. Very simple, very common, and we're going to show another variant of this just because I want you guys to be keeping something in mind, and we'll get to that. So the other way that I wanted you guys to know for something as simple as flashbangs is just getting creative with it. And so for this situation, we're going to see someone over in archives, and we're going to go ahead and instead of throwing a flashbang just directly through the doorway like you would expect, we're just going to toss it in a little bit different of a spot. And so here we go. We're droning it out. We see that someone's right over there. We go ahead and toss our flashbang right there. We hear it go off, and then we just can pre-fire. And since they're most likely blinded, or they might have looked away, you're at the advantage and you can be aggro. Alright guys, so this next situation is how to be aggro, not necessarily for fragging, but as a support player. And so in this case, we're trying to get this wall open, but we're going to find out that a bandit's tricking it. And so we're going to have fuse charged by the barricade, so that bandit has to move or he's going to die, which allows us to open up the wall. So we're going to go ahead and start droning. You see that bandit's trying to trick the wall, and so we're going to go ahead and place down our fuse charge, set it off, and since we know he can't trick anymore, we're going to go ahead and try to start our hard breach. If we really want to, we could also either watch an angle so that we know that bandit can't get back to the wall, or we could even just place another fuse charge since we're playing fuse in this case. I can't fucking aim, dude. I went right around your body. Okay guys, so I didn't want to keep all of the aggressive strategies for attack because it can be played on defense as well. And so in this situation, we're going to show how we have information on someone and they have to be stuck in a certain situation. In this case, they're going to be droning, which means that they can't take on gunfights, and so that's when we're going to be aggro since we know that we have the upper hand. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my yokai over here. We see this guy's droning. He gets on his drone so we can push up. We can go ahead and kill him. Now let's talk about being passive when you're fragging out. So this comes down to practically being the opposite of why you should be aggro. So say you don't have enough information. That's one time when you need to be passive. Say that you have to do something that takes you away from being able to frag out. And again, fragging out in this case, those are examples of when you're going to need to be doing something where you're going to have to be passive in the situation that you're in. So the situation I'm giving here is that I need to enter Visa, and I have no information about this area, so I need to play passive. I need to drone out. So that's what we're going to be doing. So again, it's just a really quick example. I'm checking around. I make sure to check all the hot spots, and what hot spots means are anywhere where it's common to see a player. You can jump by the windows and see if anyone's in there. Check upstairs a little bit. Check down, and then that's when I'd usually enter, because my drone isn't too far away, so the information that I've seen shouldn't have changed too much from the time I've gotten off my drone and by the time I'm entering. So I should be able to enter right. I don't see anybody. Side note, you should always be droning. The only time you will never need to drone is if you're playing Montaigne, because Montaigne, you can pretty much act like a drone yourself and just head check things since you have a huge shield in front of you. And so I was also talking about how there's situations where you have to do something, which means that you're going to have to play passive. A great example and a very simple one that a lot of people will get into is, say I take on a gunfight and then I need to reload. That short time that I need to reload, it gives off a sound, and they hear you reloading. They're probably going to want to be more aggro. Since you're the one reloading, you're going to have to play passive. You're going to have to drop back a little bit. You're going to have to get to a safe spot to where you can reload. So like you saw, I took on that fake gunfight, right? And then I dropped back because I need to reload. So I could go through a lot of these specific things for when you should be aggro and when you should be passive. But I just want to explain to you guys that there's so many variables and it can change, that you guys just need to know the baseline for both being aggro and being passive. And so the baseline for being aggro is, you know that the enemy has to do something and you're able to counter it. That's when you should be aggro. And then the baseline for when you should be passive is pretty much the opposite. It's when you either need information or you need to do something that the enemy could counter. And so you need to play more passive and safe in those kind of situations. So that's the baseline for those two, and that's the main thing that you guys should be keeping in your mind when you're doing whatever you're doing, especially when fragging out if you're looking for kills specifically. With that being said, guys, feel free to go check out my other playlists about tips and tricks. I'd really appreciate it. I hope this all has helped you guys out becoming a better fragging opportunist, considering getting kills. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing good, staying safe, and playing Rainbow Six Siege and loving it as much as I do. Let me know what you guys think about the new season down in the comments below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.